Hello, today we'll be going to another Heavensward dungeon. The music's hella chill here. The Great Gubal Library. Gubal? Gobble? Yeah, I'm going to a library, guys. I'm going with Alphanod, Alphano, Y'shtola, and Perorogo, the frog, the toad. Okay. Okay, Alphanod. So this first pack is just of 2. There's no more, you just gotta take care of these before you can move on. I got my tank stance on. Watch out for these cleave, like AoE things. Yeah, rolling with the NPC support for this one. I'm gonna try to do big pools in here to test the limits of the NPC healing, Alphanod's healing. So if you're running this with like actual people, you can kind of see how much you can go, but then also if you're running this just with the NPCs, you can see how much you can go. And of course, again, if you need to take it slower, then take it slower. So I pull the first pack into this second stage area. There's nothing else up these stairs. So you have to be careful because all of these drop a bunch of AoEs. So keep track of that. I popped my invuln because I could tell that he was struggling a little. But it looks like it's okay. We're okay. But yeah, Y'shtola, the toad, and Alphanod are all range drops, and so they will stay far away. As soon as they can reach one of the things, they're just gonna stop and start casting. And so you use that to your advantage, but also mostly you use that so that you don't get into a disadvantage. Like some of the other dungeons, I was running around and they were not keeping up with me. They were too far and I would die and stuff like that. But okay, so the next pack, I grab everything and I go down the stairs this time. And watch out, see, we got all these AoEs coming out and stuff. This pool is a little bit spicy, okay, because as you can see, only this guy was here, but actually all these like books show up, so you need to be a bit more careful. We got these circle AoEs and then the cone AoEs here. I popped reprisal, I got arm's length, I've got my other cooldowns. Usually if people tell the tank to use their cooldowns, they're asking you to use your mitigation or defensive cooldowns or your damage reduction stuff. Like all those are the same things. That's like the rampart and other things that reduces the damage you take. And yeah, if you want to practice all of that, like see, I was able to manage those 2 pulls. I had run it prior to this recording and I wiped there. And so running it with the NPCs is a good way to get used to your mitigation if you're running as tank. Like practicing how to, like when to use them and stuff. Okay, so for this, you can see this big book is gonna do this AoE in the middle and also on the sides, and so you need to avoid them. It happens in sequence. It's gonna do one and then the other. So for the first one, what happened was it's in the middle, and so you need to run outside. And so I move to the side. And I'm staying up here because I'm as tank, I'm like melee and you stay within melee range, but as like if you're a range person, you can still be over here as long as you're not in the center. Okay, and then immediately switches So then you move back in. And like bubbles and stuff. I get hit with it at some point, so you can see what happens when you get hit with it. That's a tricky thing with like making these guides. I've run these dungeons a lot, so I usually know what I'm doing, but then I forget that the NPCs aren't gonna get hit with stuff, and so I need to be the one to get hit with stuff so we can see. Okay, so during that, repel, it literally is just you get knocked backwards. I'm not sure why they stood all on the side, but yeah. This closure, okay, so it closes, and then you need to run to the other side. And the book is also gonna flip around. And you can get hit with this. See how it opens up again? And then it can hit you. It can knock you back if you're not if you're too close. Okay, so I move out to the side, and then I go back inside. Okay, now this is slippery. Okay. So if you try to move, you're gonna slip around. Okay, so it's thin ice here. So I didn't move there, but if you were slipping around, okay, if you were like all over the place, then as soon as this move pops up, then you might accidentally like throw yourself into the middle of this. But if you stand still during that one part, you should be fine to like not get hit with it. Okay, so out here I'm staying there so you can see what happens. If you get hit with this thing, you get a slow and a heavy. So I'm moving slower, and it's like heavier for me, so I get repelled, right? And now I still have the heavy on me, and the ice is here, and I'm trying to move around. The book closes. I'm kind of stuck here, and I'm sliding around here. My mouse changed for a moment. I was distracted. But yeah, so I'm moving around, and you don't want to be near the front because you're gonna get hit with the book. So I was sliding, and I would have been better off if I slid this way. But for the sake of the video, I stayed close. I slid close to the book. And see, I got hit with that. I got hit once, and then I was in the hitbox, and I got hit again. So one more time. I was sliding around. It would be better to slide this way, over here. But for the video, slide this way, so you can get hit twice. As soon as the book opens, you get hit. And then if you're in the hitbox, or near it, you also get knocked back. So be mindful of that. I didn't take too much damage because I'm tank, but yeah, that can be disruptive. Like this whole thing can get a bit chaotic if you're not doing the mechanics. Because you can't move your character very fast, and then if you're slipping around in the ice, then you're gonna get hit with the book a bunch. And then the healer has to heal you up, and then they can't heal the tank, and then it can unravel pretty quickly. But yeah, so just go out and then in. And repel, we're gonna get knocked backwards. And this is the slippery ice situation. And book is closing, and then we move to the other side. Okay, but that's the end of that. So once you're done with the boss, you just go through the book and you pick up your treasure. Okay, so this next set of ads, these guys look kind of familiar, right? If you did, I think it was either Amdapor Keep or the Lost City of Amdapor, there are these little creatures, and they add misery. And I went through this whole explanation of how you can remove this by using the comfort emote, or the rally, because you're miserable and your friend cheers you up kind of thing. Okay, this page 164 will attach to someone. You see this line tether on somebody. So it's attached to Alphanon right now. it's gonna stay on that person and do this long AoE. So just whoever is attached to it, you just stay away from them, or they need to move away from everybody else. Or you're gonna get hit with a bunch of stuff. Okay. Lots of little AoEs here. It looks like I died. Let's see why I died. Like, kind of looks like oh, okay, level 5 death. That might have been why I died. Because I was still kind of inside of it. Because I went back in, see? Because it didn't look like my health is pretty good. I went in and then I went back out. But I might have just gotten hit with it. See, you can see here that my health goes immediately to 0. See, even though the health bar animation is still all the way up here, my health dropped right down to 0. So, looks like you really don't want to stand in that. Okay, actually my health was like here, so it was like fine. Yeah, there we go. I gotta heal, and then this thing goes off, the level 5 death, and then immediately died. Yeah, so it wasn't about damage, it was just because I happened to stand in that. I walked back into it really quickly, so be careful with that page 64 thingy. You don't want to stand in its AoE. And then also, because it's tethered to somebody, you don't want to stand in that line AoE. But the level 5 death thing seems to be what can just one-shot you. Also, because I'm running with NPCs, if I die, then we have to start over the thing. If one of them dies, it's not as bad. The healer can try to get them back up. But, yeah. If I die, we just go over. You see me put my mouse here, I'm like, what happened there? Yeah, so that's the misery thing. It's just the slash comfort slash rally, so to get rid of that one. Okay, so I got this next set of ads. Another page 64 book pops up. So I take aggro and then I go into this room and just grab all these guys, because if we just take care of this group, inevitably this group of ads is going to come out anyway. So I just go grab them preemptively and take care of all of them right here. It can be a little spicy. I did use my invuln here and it did trigger my invuln, so I could have died at this point. For Dark Knight, when you pop your invuln, if you get killed, then it switches to a different thingy. I don't remember the names of everything, but it switches to like Walking Dead or Living Dead or something like that. It's just a different icon. But, okay, here, I'll show it, just because we're here. See, it looks like I'm gonna die, so I pop my invuln, this one. And when it turns gray, that means that I did basically die. And then it turns into this one, which means I'm gonna... One of them means I'm gonna be invulnerable, and the attacks won't go less than 1 HP, but then after that I need to be given health to full, like 100%, or else then I'll actually die. It's a whole thing. This is not a tank guide. I just wanted to kind of go over it since I'm running as Dark Knight here. But yeah, if you're interested in that, you can go take a look at other tank guides or read the job skills page. It's pretty neat. But again, if you're just playing this casually, you don't have to worry too much about it. So there are people who want to really optimize the game, and then you go into like, you know, the end game stuff where a lot of these, like, you want to maximize the usage of all the skills you have. But if you're just enjoying the story, it's okay. You don't have to worry too much. But like here, because I'm running as NPCs and, you know, I'm making these guides to help people. I'm also like, personally, I am doing endgame rating and stuff like that. I kind of have been going around to see how these different jobs, classes work and stuff, just for my own personal benefit. And yeah, I don't think that anyone should force anybody to play a certain way, but if you personally want to get better at a certain thing, then there's always resources for that. And then if you want to do higher end content, oh, that level 5 dead, you gotta get out of there. You see that? You would have died. I would have died if I stood in that. See that? This! You don't want that one. No. Get out of there. Hang out with this sprite. Yeah. Like, if you're interested in really min-maxing kind of the kit that you have to use, then yeah, it's cool, it's there, you can do that. But this game really allows people to play casually. So like even playing casually can be difficult, you know? Like when I first started playing, it was really hard for me to understand all of this stuff. So just knowing the basics of what you have to do is good enough for wherever you are. It's no big deal. I was highlighting over some of this stuff if you want to pause the video and read them. But anyway, okay, so this guy, this boss, I turn him around and he kind of hangs out on this book a lot, and at some point he'll become invulnerable. Okay, see, when he did that slash, that's the tank cleave. That's considered the tank cleave. And that's the auto attack. He will do, okay, this thing, but you can see this kind of moving, so it will target a person and they run, see, it's on your Stola. So she runs closer and it will make the line AoE a lot smaller. She turns it a bit, but then I happened to be in the, like I was standing in the back. But because she turned it, I ended up getting hit with it for a little bit because she turned it, and so you get knocked back by that. You get a little bit of damage. Okay, that was the tank cleave. Okay, so here when Biblos jumps back on the book and there's kind of these like this little shield thing, he's invulnerable. And so what you need to do is wait for, do you hear that? There are these books that drops, these page 64s. So you need to take those down. Okay. After you damage one of them, the person is gonna get tethered. This like little orb thing. Also the other one can do line AoE, so you have to watch out. Okay. I can see that it does Death Ray. This one on the side is over there doing Death Ray. And I got my tether over here, and I'm like, I shouldn't, I could cross it if I had enough time, but you know, it doesn't look like I'm gonna have time, so I kind of just stand right here. Because the goal is to get this tether through the boss. Okay, and you see that? As soon as the orb hit the boss, he's like, oh, it burns, it burns. And so he gets knocked off the book. Unquenchable flames engulfed her for... Okay. So now he can be targeted again. Okay. Gale cut. These little, like... Doesn't gale mean like wind or something, some nature thing? Anyway, there's these like cloud things out now. Okay, and then also here, head down. It attaches to a person again. It's on your shoulder again. It looks like if, yeah, she moves closer to make it smaller. And then, so it will just knock one person back and then does some damage to them. These clouds can do some damage. It's not too much. Okay, also that tank cleave, it accidentally hit the little frog because I was standing over there. The clouds do a little bit of damage, and so what you can do is go soak them. See, as tank, I go and I walked into one vacuum blade. Like, I did like 900 something. It'll be important for this next part to keep track of. Okay, so he's invulnerable. He's in the thing. He's invulnerable. These books fell down, so we have to go take care of the books again. Okay, he's doing Gale Cut again. And so the clouds are gonna come up. Okay, watch out for these line AoEs from the books. So, these things, okay? I'm taking care of this book. And so I'm gonna get a tether to it. Okay, but look at Alphanod. Okay, he's got a tether here. You can watch how he runs it across to try to get the orb to go there. However, like, there was a cloud here. Okay, it looks like the cloud went away. But basically what happens is if this orb goes into a cloud, then the cloud will absorb it, and then you can't resolve this mechanic. And then on my side, I went this way, and my orb will hit the boss, but then I get hit by the orb because I went through it. But I'm also like, it's fine, like I'm a tank, I could take it. So if you get into a situation where there is a cloud in the way, someone can soak the cloud, or your orb will go through a cloud, and then you'll have to keep repeating the phase because the boss will stay inside invulnerable. Now he's outside, so we can still take him. So the clouds are out. Head down again. Okay, goes on a person. Watch out for the man. See, your shoulder just keeps turning it, and then I almost get hit. Okay. But then immediately after will be this like tank thingy, right? So last time I got the frog hit, so I learned my lesson. But yeah, so that one does repeat mechanics a lot. Basically, when the boss is invulnerable, go take care of the ads, and then bring the tether through the boss, so that the boss is not invulnerable anymore. Okay, this next set, I'm grabbing all the ads. I'm gonna try to pull a lot. See, these ads do range attack, and so it does take a while to get them to follow me. And that means that it's going to take a while to get my NPC friends to follow me, because these are doing range and they're also range, so I kind of know it's going to be difficult. See, like, I'm like close to dying. And I hit my invuln here. Okay. Slow it down a little. I knew that they were all back there, okay? And I knew that there's a chance I could probably die. And so I hit my damage reduction thing. It's called Shadow Wall. And then I was like, you know, I don't think that's gonna be enough. So I also hit Living Dead, my invulnerability thing. And then as soon as I take damage, see, I had it for a moment. I say this is not a tank guy, and look at what I'm doing. Okay, I hit Living Dead. For a moment I have it, but I'm clearly gonna take damage more than 244, okay? So it immediately goes to this one, this gray looking one. And then I'm invulnerable, and so everything that hits me won't go less than 1. I have that for 10 seconds. And then I got healed to full health thanks to Alphanod. Okay, so yeah, see? Walking Dead. Here we go. Walking Dead. It all happened very quickly. Living Dead to Walking Dead to Undead Rebirth. Okay, so I used Unleash. And I was also healing myself. You can see. Abyssal Drain, one of my moves, gives me some MP and restores some of my health. Okay. And then so this one also gave me some of that. And then I used Unleash and I got some health back. And then I equipped, you know, so I'm a bit more self-sufficient here, and then Alphanod does some healing, sure. Okay, but anyway, back to the actual thing. This is a lot of ads, okay? You gotta just take care of it. A lot happened in like 3 seconds. Can we just watch that in real time? Let's just watch that in real time. Okay, I knew I was gonna die. Hit my thing so I don't die too quickly. And then I didn't die, and then more ads popped up. That's basically what happened. But I wanted to slow it down a little. And then now everybody's close enough. They're gonna start doing damage. And I still have, okay, then my damage thingy, the purple one, dropped off, and I knew there's still a lot of ads here, so I switched to this other one, okay? I try not to overlap my mitigation because it doesn't stack in the way that you think it would. It's a whole thing. Math. But this is what you can kind of expect if you're running it with duty finder people. They will likely do bigger pools like this. So if you're healing, be aware of that. If you're just doing DPS and you just make sure you're catching up to everybody. If you're tanking and you want to do this, just make sure that your healer is aware of the pacing that you want to go, and also that you can manage your cooldowns well. Your cooldowns, your mitigation, your damage reduction, all those things. Technically, I could have pulled everything to this guy, but you saw how close it was, right? And so I tried to play it safe. Because, why? Because there was just more running. See this? There's just more running I would have had to do instead of just parking it here. And all that running with the NPCs is kind of what kills the run for me, because they stop and go all the time and it's inconsistent, and so that's why I didn't want to just keep going. Okay, so now with this next one, I'm gonna pull everything and go down the stairs to the next mob down there. That's usually this wall-to-wall pool. But because of how much we have to run, as you can imagine, my friends are all the way back here. And because I'm going down the stairs, I go down here like this, they're just like, because they can still reach, they kind of see, they just stop right here instead of going down the stairs. It's because they're ranged DPS and they can technically still reach, so they don't move down. And that's how I used my invuln already earlier, and so I basically die here. Yeah. It's possible to do the pull, but it's just, you gotta have your healer keep up with you. But a benefit of dying is that all of my stuff gets reset, and so now I have everything. I have all my cooldown mitigation stuff, and I also have my invulnerability. So when people say cooldown, they'll use it to refer to the tank mitigation stuff, but they'll also refer to it as, oh, if one of your like skills is on cooldown. Okay, look, you see all the ads were down there, and we were close enough that they're like, oh, they're gonna go back upstairs. Yeah, so people will say use your off global cooldowns or global cooldowns, where basically what cooldown means is like it's refreshing. And so when I click a thing, you see this kind of rotating, or it has a number on it. That is considered cooling down because I used it. Back here, I'm just grabbing everything again. But when they're referring to a tank using cooldowns, they're talking about mitigation. See, they're back there with these ads. I thought I had grabbed them, but they must have done more damage than me, or I misgrabbed them. If you're in a situation like that with like other people, the DPS should bring those ads over to the tank. But if they're not, then yeah, I was heading back that way so I could help grab them. But that's the limitation of playing with the NPCs. They're not going to come follow me. So I'm just going to keep going. Oh, it's death. thingy down there. Let's see, where are they? They're still like over there somewhere. There we go. I need them to come downstairs with me. Okay, so the page 64 tethers to me. It's going to do the line AoE. And here we go. Oh my goodness, I'm so close to dying. I popped my mitigation. I popped my invulnerability too. Fortunately I did, because I would have died there had I not used that. Because yeah, they're just parked up there. But it's fine, you know? We're doing it. It's fine. But yeah, that is the kind of wall-to-wall pool stuff that you can expect. It will be more clean if you're running it with healers who are running with you. Like people who know to run with you and not stop in the previous rooms and stuff. Because also with the DPS, if DPS is keeping up running with you and doing damage, then the ads will go down faster, and then you just take care of all of it a lot faster if they were there with you. But you do what you can with NPCs. Oh, it looks like this is my first time running this newer version. They updated the dungeons when they added the duty support stuff. So, yeah. Okay, so this book, I turn it around per usual. Has these auto attacks and these front cleave things, okay. You can see there are circles around the stage. I'll keep track of that. Okay, your Stola has this little thing above her head, this marker. That means an orb is gonna drop over there. Okay, see, the boss just like threw this thing back. So it's kind of hard to see, but there is an orb here. And you want to drop the orb away from everybody, so because it's gonna explode. Before, it didn't have this circle thing to show you how big the explosion is, but now they do. They added that. So this thing's gonna explode, and if you're within range of this, you're gonna get hit with that. So just get out of there. Okay. And now also, you want to, if you have that, you want to put the orbs away, like along the wall, but also away from these circular things, okay? Because all these circular things have this little portal void thingy, and so you need to run into them. One person needs to run into each of them, at least for this configuration. You can see that there's 1, 2, 3, so we'll alternate how many people will need to be in them. Once it has the little ring across it, then you're all good. You can go back to the boss. If you don't close this chain thingy, then ads will pop up and you'll have to deal with the ads. Unfortunately, I did it perfectly, so I can't show you the ad phase. Sorry. I forgot. But okay, see, so here she's standing there waiting, so I need to go here to help her out. I realized that I had to go run to all of them with the NPCs. They weren't gonna go help support at all. But usually if you're running this with other people, it's kind of chaotic because like you don't know who's gonna run to which one, and you need to run in pairs. But you have to help out. Okay, but then afterwards, donut AoE, so go into the middle. I'm gonna run out. Tank cleave thrub. Okay, Stola's got the orb thing again. Hopefully she runs out so it doesn't hit anybody. Looks like she's not, so she just parked it right there. So now there's gonna be a big AoE right in the middle there. Okay. That's not a good place to put it. But anyway, we're here. We got these 3, okay? So I saw these 2 running this way. And so I'm like, okay, we gotta have 3 people. So we got 3 people there. And then I'm running across. These 2 guys got hit with this orb because they ran right through it. It's fine, they didn't take that much damage, but you can imagine how chaotic it can be if the healer's new and they can't keep up with healing and then people are just running into things. So, you want to help out. Move the orb somewhere else. Okay, inside the donut. Okay. Outside the circle. Tink leaf. The orb again, Yerstola? Okay. Cool, we did it. Sorry I didn't get footage of the ads. Totally forgot. Oh, look at the frog! He's so happy. Is it a frog or a toad? I don't know. It's a porog. Porog? Progu? Well, anyway. Okay. I hope that was useful. And I hope you test the limits of the NPC support like I do, so that you can learn different things. Cool. See ya. Bye bye.